So Act 5, Scene 1, we're into the final act. This is, of course, the last appearance of Lady Macbeth. And very, very important for seeing where she's gone to. Of course, it starts without her, with a doctor and a gentlewoman discussing what's going on here, discussing the various things that they've seen her do, writing and throwing things away and that kind of an idea. And the doctor, who kind of seems to be a little unsure of the truth of that before. But anyway, first of all, we see Lady Macbeth comes in and she has a taper. And this is noticed again as light. Okay? The idea being, as the woman says, she has light by her continually, 'tis her command. So what we see is that at this point, when she enters sleepwalking, she has light. She wants light, which is a complete comparison to wanting, complete contrast to wanting the dark and inviting the dark in the earlier scenes, particularly in Act 1, Scene 5. Okay, so it shows the way she's gone past and gone round before here. It's worth noting as well that Lady Macbeth is now talking almost entirely entirely in prose rather than poetry. If you don't know what I mean by that, don't worry too much. But also her speech is very, very broken up. Okay, as though she's not in control of her language anymore. Okay, lots of repetition, right? Repetition throughout in various different ways. The famous lines here when she comes in about "out damn spot," which again is the idea she can't wash the blood out of her hands, just like the sense of blood on her hands, like Macbeth in Act 2, Scene 2, when she said, "You just need a little water to clear us of this deed." She doesn't seem to feel that now. What we then get is we get a bunch of things, a bunch of statements from her which basically give everything away. And that's the first thing we want to notice, right? That essentially in this scene, Lady Macbeth gives away what everyone suspects, okay, at this point. She mentions about killing Duncan. She mentions about the murder of Lady Macduff. She mentions about the murder of Banquo over here, which again pretty much sums up everything. But what she does is she moves between. Many people think, oh look, her guilt's caught up with her and she regrets everything. Well, there are moments in it when that's true. There are moments in it which show the vulnerability that she had before. Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him about Duncan? That vulnerability that was missing earlier. Okay? What? Will these hands never be clean? Again, a feeling of vulnerability in here. The beautiful and sad line where she talks about the smell of the blood, that all the perfumes of Arabia won't sweeten this little hand, which is obviously a direct reference to and essentially her version of Macbeth in Act 2, Scene 2, and his speech about all Neptune's oceans won't wash the blood from my hand. It's clearly meant to be the same. So, and worth noting that if you're thinking there, oh well, that's then her remembering that and using it for herself. When he gives his speech about all Neptune's oceans won't wash the blood from my hand, Lady Macbeth isn't actually even on stage. So there's maybe something supernatural in that. And as we go here again, when he says, "Look not so pale. I tell you again, Banquo's buried. He can't come out of his grave." She's maybe acting the vulnerable, but what we've got here is we've got still at this point a sense of control and practicality is still there. And we see that when we go back to the others. Okay? Will these hands be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all with this starting. Again, the kind of strength and control that we saw before. Just before, yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in it? What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Again, a sense of their power and control that they had at that time. So she basically is moving between the two. On the other side, what do we get? We get the doctor pointing out that this is really something that is more spiritual than his own practice, and pointing out that, in his famous line here, that unnatural deeds breed unnatural troubles. He says, foul whisperings are abroad. The link is made clear between the idea of what you do comes back to you, okay? If it's unnatural, okay? Deeds to troubles. More needs she the divine than the physician.